Banda step forward, please?
Ramona Maureen is suing bandleader Lupe Banda for a refund of the deposit to play at her 50th wedding anniversary. Ramona says 5 months before the event, her husband died.
Miss Maureen, you and your husband were going to be celebrating your 50th wedding anniversary, according to your complaint.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were planning a celebration. You were
Yes,
planning
ma'am.
it almost a year in advance.
Yes, ma'am.
And you, among other things, in order to plan this party, you arranged for the defendant to play the music at the party.
Yes.
And you gave him a $200 deposit and signed a contract,
Yeah. Yes,
which
ma'am.
I would like to see. Sadly, about 6 months prior to your anniversary,
5 months prior.
to your anniversary, your husband passed away,
Yes, ma'am.
and you want your deposit back.
Yes.
Mr. Banda says that it was a non-refundable deposit,
Yeah, I understand that.
that he would have returned your money if he had another engagement that night, but he didn't. Is that right, sir?
That's correct.
Your husband signed this contract.
Yes.
You understand, Miss Marin, this is sad to have to say this to you,
Yes, ma'am.
but
I understand.
the contract that was
Said
signed
it's non-refundable.
said it was non-refundable. And the law really says that even if it's a non-refundable deposit, under certain conditions, it would be incumbent upon the defendant to try to mitigate his damages, which would mean that he would have to try to rebook something else.
Yes, ma'am. I
For that-
understand that much.
What efforts did you make to try to fill that date, the 28th of December?
Well, I did not get another booking. You know, people call me and tell me, I want you to play. I have to say, I can't play because I've already got a contract.
Can you answer my question? My question was, did you make any effort to advertise to try to fill that day?
Well, not advertised, but if a booking would come my way, yes, I would have tried to.
Do you
to
earn
have
your
gotten it.
living solely by playing
No,
at functions?
No.
What do you earn your living at?
I'm a hair person. I do hair.
So you do this on the side.
Yes.
How long have you been doing this on the side?
Well, some years, you know.
Give me an example. How many years?
Okay, maybe when I was 20. You know, I'm 51 right now.
Are you telling me that you've been playing to supplement your income for 30 years?
No, but see, I don't do club work. I don't do nothing like that. All I do is like family functions. I do a lot of charities. It's a fun thing more than anything. Like I have not played for what 3-4 months, but it doesn't matter. We don't. This is not our income.
Well, if it's not your income, sir, and what you're saying is that you are performing really for fun.
Well, yes, but everybody
Just a
gets
second,
paid.
for fun. I'm just curious. You understand that I have just told her that this is a non-refundable deposit.
Yes, I understand
But
that.
I assume you live in a small community,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes.
You live in a small community, so that word of mouth is the way you get your business?
Yes.
You do understand that it doesn't look good for you.
Well,
As a businessman, listen to me carefully, as a businessman, since you don't earn your living by being a musician, you don't have a band that you pay regularly, you know, you're a hairdresser and you do this for fun. You haven't done it for 4 months, so you're not really earning a living doing this. You're doing it for fun. Don't you realize that it's not good sense for you not to have given her back her $200?
yes, but I mean, my music business, I mean, it's not there. Like I said,
Don't double talk me. I don't want to hear double talk. What you do is you say, if you're smart, you say, yes, it's not good business for me not to return her $200 under these circumstances. However, Judge, we do have a binding contract.
exactly.
If I were a business person, Miss Morin,
Yes, ma'am.
I would say to you, I'm really sorry that you suffered this loss. Here's your $200 back. I don't depend upon my music business to support my family. I really just do it for fun. We live in a small community. I don't want there to be any hard feelings. Here's your $200 back. That's what a smart person would do,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Some people are smart business people and some people are not. And when you have a binding contract and you come into court and ask the court to rule on what the law is, you have a binding contract. He's not obliged to give you your money back.
I understand that
It's not
much,
obliged to
Your
give, and I can't direct him to give you your money back. All I can tell him is,
No, well,
it's not smart business.
I know it's not smart business. I spoke to him on July the 17th, and I told him that was 5 months before the booking date. And I told him this while we were on vacation, Paul passed away. And he said, okay. And I told him, I would like to talk to you later. And he said, okay. This man, I tried to get a hold of him. He never called me. He never had the courtesy to call me.
Not good business.
Not good business.
Not
good
being a
business.
nice person.
So I felt, I'm not doing it, Your Honor, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the principle of the thing, so other people will know how bad businessman he is.
Now they know. Good for you.
That's why I did it.
Thank you.
That's why.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's not the money. I don't need the money.
When I send a contract, it should bind.
I get my deposit back. It was going to my church.
This is just another case of it could have been my coffee's too hot or it's too cold.
He never returned my call. So what does that tell Corpus Christi?
People just want to sue.
That he is not a very good businessman.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Wolford versus Pearson, step forward, please.
22-year-old homemaker Cameo Wofford is suing 27-year-old CNA Patricia Pearson for the cost of car insurance. Patricia claims Cameo is trying to run a scam.
Ms. Wofford, the defendant was a friend of yours, and according to your complaint, somehow she owes you $280 some odd for automobile insurance.
Yes.
So in 3 minutes, I'd like you to tell me how it came about that she owes you for automobile insurance.
Well, on the 15th of May, she asked me to have her car insured because she needed transportation to get back and forth to Buffalo because her daughter was sick. Unfortunately, she sells her babies to a black market.
What does that mean?
That means she sells her babies to these families, and they give her money.
You mean she has children that she puts out for adoption?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And they would pay the car insurance every month, and it come to find out that she was never pregnant, so they cut her off.
So?
I had no money to pay it because that was
Ms.
her
Wofford,
responsibility to pay it.
According to what I tried to piece together from your complaint, she asked you to put her car on your insurance because she didn't have a driver's license.
Yes.
You said okay.
Yes.
So you were assisting someone in committing a fraud against the insurance company and breaking the law. Is that right?
Well, I didn't know it was against the law to put...
You know it's against the law to drive a car without a license, don't you?
Yes.
And when you told the insurance company that you wanted to add another car to your insurance policy, they asked you on the form to name the other drivers, right?
No, I just...
Of course they do. I'm going to give you a very fast lesson in jurisprudence. You cannot come into court asking a court to help you if you have unclean hands. So if you do something wrong and somebody else does something more wrong, it's not the court's job to figure out who did something that's wrong and, for want of a better term, wronger. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Now, the fact that you knew that she, an unlicensed driver, you were assisting an unlicensed driver, puts you in a position of coming to court with unclean hands.
I wasn't looking at it that way.
Well, I want you to look at it that way. I've just given you your lesson in jurisprudence. You have to know that you always have to do the right thing. And if you're going to help somebody to do the wrong thing, you're not going to get help from the courts to fix it. Got it? Mm-hmm. Good. Goodbye.
Thank you. Her sister went to prison for 3 years. She's been to jail. She sold like 4 kids.
I don't even know where she got that from. It was an aunt that asked me, that said that she was going to pay my car insurance.
She caused a lot of problems. She got evicted from her apartment, so she's just dirty.
We're not friends anymore.
And she's trying to get pregnant.
Next case.
All parties in the matter of Jones versus Stegall, step forward, please.
18-year-old waitress Bonnie Jones is suing her ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old Thailand's daughter Thomas Stegall, for writing checks from a shared account after they broke up.
Miss Jones, Mr. Stegall was your boyfriend.
Yes.
While you were together, you made the monumental mistake of having a joint bank account with him.
Yes.
It's probably a mistake for both of you, but certainly since you're on that side of the table, it was a bigger mistake for you. According to your complaint, at the time you broke up, you left some of the checks in the apartment or in the house where you were living.
Yes.
Mr. Stigall found those checks because he had not been writing checks on the account you had. And over the next month, he wrote a series of checks. The bounced fees, et cetera, came to about $600. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And there's no question, these were all his checks, his withdrawals, after you broke up. Is that right?
Yep.
Now, I think, Mr. Stigall, you acknowledge that all of these checks were written after you broke up. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So now, I would like you to tell me, and at the same time you're going to tell Bird, your defense.
When we split up, I hadn't been using the checkbook. I wasn't allowed to. So when she left, I figured there was still money in there for me to use. I didn't know.
Do you know how to use a telephone?
I didn't know where she was.
But you know where your bank was.
Yes, ma'am.
Would it ever dawn on you to go into the bank and find out if there was any money left in that account?
It didn't occur to me, no, ma'am.
Okay. So continue. Bird's still listening.
Well, basically, I found the checkbook, and I decided that, well, I really wasn't thinking straight at the time, I guess you could say. I needed a few things, or wanted a few things, and I ended up writing a few checks that turned out to bounce. And she's called me quite a few times since then to let me know, and I told her I'd do the best I can to work on it, but I just got employed again, just getting stuff straightened out.
Would you tell me what your defense is?
I had no idea there wasn't any money in the account. I thought that my money was still in there.
So if you knew that there was no money in the account, you wouldn't have written these checks. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
So then you owe her the money, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't this easy? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $606. That's it.
Thank you.
Excuse, you may step out.
It's very fair.
I think it was fair. I think it was kind of unnecessary, personally.
I gave him 6 months to get a job, to start making payments towards $606, which is really not that much.
I was trying to pay back the money as I could. Like I said, I just got employed again, and I really thought it was all unnecessary.
It took him 6 months to just get a job, so how much longer is it going to till I see the first payment?
I couldn't even begin to tell you what goes on in a woman's mind.
One too many arguments.
I tell you, it left me as confused as anything I've ever been through.
I don't think he should have been as shocked as he says he is or was.
I came home, she was gone, and things just took a turn from the worse from there. Everything just, my life slipped apart.
It was just the way I left.
Pick up a little piece every day, lose a piece here and there.
I will never, ever again hold a joint checking account with anyone.
Phlebotomist Shauna Hunter is suing her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, 26-year-old customer care representative Javon Franklin, for keying her car. Javon is countersuing, claiming Shauna slashed her tires.
Yeah, this is case number 211 on the calendar in the matter of Hunter versus Franklin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Thanks, Bert.
Folks, have seats. You're welcome, Judge.
Is the boyfriend here? Which one is the boyfriend?
One in the burgundy shirt.
Officer Bird. He looks like a nice enough gentleman.
Yeah.
Does he look as if he's special enough to start a war over?
I'm not a real good judge on guys.
I am.
What do you think?
I wouldn't start a war over any of them.
There you go.
Oh. Aren't you humiliated? Before we even start, are you a nice girl?
Very.
And you?
Yes,
Think you're a nice girl?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
That was a big pause there. What does that mean, a big pause?
I work 25 miles away from home, and I go.
What do you do?
I'm a phlebotomist.
Okay, which means you take
blood.
And you work for a laboratory?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been working for a laboratory?
A year and a half.
And what do you do for a living, Miss Franklin?
I work at AT&T Wireless.
How long have you been working for AT&T?
A year and a half.
Smart. Both in this terrible economy, both have good jobs, beautiful looking. What does he do?
Nothing.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just
a second. Just asking.
She wouldn't know.
Just a second. I just want to know.
Yeah.
She said nothing. What does he do?
He's an administrative assistant.
And how many days a week does he work?
Can I interrupt, please? Right now.
No, I'm going to get an answer.
Okay.
I'm going to get an answer. Come on.
Actually, I'm going to take that back. She got him fired.
Thank you.
So the answer is he's not working.
He's not.
All right.
He's searching. He's searching really hard.
What I'm saying is, he may not be a bad guy, but you are two nice, clearly responsible, hardworking, diligent young women who you claim she keyed your car over Prince Charming. She says you slashed her tires over Prince Charming.
Prince Charming cannot pay my bills.
Just a second. Don't jump up and down.
Sorry.
Stay still. You're making me seasick.
I'm sorry.
Miss Hunter.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me when Miss Franklin keyed your car.
It was the weekend of Memorial Day.
And how do you know that she keyed your car?
I got 2 witnesses here that saw her do it. Firstly, I just want to set up the situation. She came ringing the doorbell at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's not the first time.
He used to be your boyfriend.
Yes, used to be.
I broke up with him in May. He proposed to me in May. I told him no.
Okay. So she came to your house in the morning
and she kept ringing the doorbell. This is according to my witness, because we were both asleep naturally, like any normal person should be asleep at 4 o'clock in the morning. Brian Matlock, he assumed that it was me because when my witness and I came in, he was on the couch sleeping.
You all live together?
No. I actually have a friend, Justin, who rents out a room to Kevin here. I've only known these people for about 8 months. And what happened was I was sleeping on the couch, and I was rudely woken to a doorbell ringing about 30 times. I looked out the people and mistaked it for Shauna and let her in, and I believed it was Shauna at the time, and I just went and laid down because she walked right to Kevin's room.
And it was this young lady?
This young lady.
And what were you doing there 5 o'clock in the morning? Shh! What were you doing there 5 o'clock in the morning?
I was not there at 5 o'clock.
You think he's lying?
I don't even know this guy, to be honest.
I don't know her, but I knew her after all the lights came on.
I've never seen him. Never seen this guy. He does not live at that residence.
He didn't say he was living. He was sleeping on the couch.
I've never seen him there.
Okay, go ahead. So you let her in, and what happened?
I let her in, and it escalated into an argument which carried out to the driveway. I, at that point, followed to make sure there was no fighting or anything at that point. I asked her to leave and told her that I was going to call the police. She told me, mind your own business, white boy, and keyed up the side of her vehicle.
And you saw that?
I watched every bit of it.
And you say that never happened?
That never happened.
Okay, good. Now, this happened the early morning of May 24th, according to your complaint.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you say, after work on May 24th, something happened with your car, right? Let me hear what happened with your car.
Kevin came to my house. He called me on May 24th and asked
Kevin, that's him.
Yeah, that's him. He asked me to marry him. Let's go to Reno. I came up with some lame excuses. I told Kevin I was sick, I was tired, and my hair was not done. We got into a little argument. No, it sounds funny, but I did. The second time we were supposed to get married, we were on our way to Reno, got halfway there,
I don't
and
care about the second
broke
time.
up. Well, anyways, the 24th, when he came over to my house, we got into a little argument because I did not want to get married to him. He left, called me 2:20 in the morning. He said he was downtown at a jazz festival. Can he come over? I told him no. I was already in bed, asleep. That afternoon, I went to work at 2 o'clock. Got an email sent out to the whole call center and asked at 4 o'clock, is there anyone that drive a white Honda Accord? And I responded to that email. They said because there's somebody outside in the parking lot slashing your tires.
So you're banging on the table. It's irritating.
Somebody's in the parking lot slashing at your tires.
Do you have any witnesses who saw her do it?
I do have a witness. Chrissy Sims is the witness.
Okay.
I also have
Step up.
a police report for another witness, but she couldn't make it. She had surgery.
Would you get the police report? I want to take a look at it. Sure. Chrissy, you have a last name?
Sims.
Who do you work for?
I work for AT&T Wireless also.
Did you witness Miss Hunter slashing Miss Franklin's tires?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And when was that?
It was on May 25th. It was around 3:30, 4 o'clock. That's when I normally take my lunch break, and I was in our lunch room. And I was just looking outside, and I saw a car parked behind her car, like slanted. And then I saw her get out the car, and you could tell she was up to something because the way she was parked. So I saw her get out the car and go over to her tires and just kneel down and slash. She kept moving her arm back and forth.
Judges. Her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, Javon Franklin, keyed her car. Javon says Shauna slashed her tires.
Okay, I'm ready.
Your Honor, I'll tell you, I don't need a witness here. I slashed her tires. I'm willing to pay for her tires because I was enraged the next morning to find my brand new car.
Perfect.
Scratched. And you know, on top of that, come to find out that this gentleman bought her tires. There was only one security guard outside. He came and chased me. That's when I hopped in my car and I ran off.
Just a second. How much were the tires?
The tires are $300.
Well, let me have an estimate.
I didn't even bring that, to be honest. I left that at home.
Well, where did you think you were coming today? I need an estimate for tires. She has a check here for $50.
Who paid for that and where?
Well, I don't know.
Kevin bought them for $25 each.
Oh.
Is that right?
That's correct.
She has 15-inch rims on her tires. I looked down, they were bald.
He doesn't make any difference. I have here $975 is what you're suing for. Damages to the car, towing expenses, lost wages, and harassment.
Correct.
Okay. And how many tires were slashed?
It was 2.
Bird, I know nothing about tires. I know that they make the world go round. Can you get a tire for $100?
Can you buy one tire for $100? Yeah, you can buy one tire for $100.
Is that a good tire?
That's a real good tire.
What's an average price tire for a Honda Accord?
And they're 17-inch.
Maybe $75 a piece.
All right. Now, how much did you pay for the towing of your car?
The towing was only $65.
And what kind of lost wages are you talking about?
2 days of work missed.
Why did you miss 2 days of work?
I just didn't have the money to get my tires fixed. When I got it towed, I had it towed to my house. I didn't have any transportation, so
right.
The only transportation I had was to go get my car.
Take a bus and leave the driving to us. Okay, now, I want to see pictures of the scratches to your car.
By the way, she scratched it 2 times on 2 separate occasions.
You have an estimate on painting it?
Yes, ma'am.
There isn't much of a question in my mind that Miss Franklin keyed your car. She certainly acknowledged the fact that she slashed your tires because she was angry.
Your Honor, I did not key her car. Yeah. I would like to take a lie detective test, if that's possible.
Okay. Anyway, that's my finding, and I think that you two ladies should just cool it.
I agree. Totally.
And it's going to cost you some money to fix your car, and I'm going to do a set-off because I have a claim and I have a counterclaim, and after I did all the math, although you have a claim for some $1,100 for the painting of your car, you're going to get $785 because I have deducted what I believe is the cost of the tires and the towing. Judgment for the plaintiff, the amount of $785. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's more than welcome to have me. She's actually doing me a favor.
As soon as she moves on with herself, the better off she'll be.
He said, I heard his heart for the last time, and I will pay for this.
We were doing just fine until she came back around, just causing trouble, knocking on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning when nobody wants her there.
This is my payback. It's cute.
Is suing technician Linda Terhune for pouring soda on his head in a movie theater. Linda says Michael was talking during the film.
Comfy? Yeah, Your Honor, this is case number 228 on the calendar in the matter of Haas versus Terhune.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Haas, was this the gentleman who was with you at the movie theater on the day of the incident?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, Mr. Haas, the defendant assaulted you by spilling soda on your head in the movie theater. And you were injured. Your eye became infected. Something happened to your eye as a result of that. I read the defendant's answer, and quite frankly, she doesn't deny that she did it. But in effect, her defense is that you're a crybaby. It's no big deal. Is that what your defense is? Yeah, that's what I figured. I don't know how that's going to fly, but we're going to find out. I'm not going to start with you.
Okay.
I'm going to start with Mr. Terhune. First, I want you to tell me how old you are.
38.
You work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a technician on computers.
Tell me when you went to the movies on the day that you came into contact with Mr. Haas. What date was that?
I don't remember. He says it was the 7th of November.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. What movie were you going to see?
Frida.
Good movie. For what performance did you buy a
It's
ticket?
the first one, like 11 o'clock, I think, or
In the morning?
Yeah.
Busy theater?
Not a lot of people that day, maybe 30 people.
Now, you arrived at the theater, bought your ticket, and went and took a seat. 30 people, so the theater wasn't full. When did Mr. Haas arrive?
Probably 5 minutes after the movie had started, and it just took him a little bit to settle in.
Where did they settle in? Right in front of you?
In front of me and down maybe 6 seats, probably.
Tell me what happened.
They were talking, and they weren't, I mean, at first it was like we have our seats now and that kind of thing. But then they kept talking. It wasn't about the movie. They were talking about how they got there and things like that. They were just chatting. And people were staring at them. Finally, I said, please be quiet. And Mr. Haas turned to me and said, we're not being loud enough to disturb you. So then they were quiet for like 10 minutes, and I didn't care. If he had to call me so he'd be quiet, I didn't care.
Okay.
But then they started again. And again, it wasn't, what did she say or anything? It was just chit-chat. So I got up to leave. I figured I'm not going to be happy here. There's no point. And as I walked past, I walked right past his head. And I had a big soda in my hand, and I poured it over his head.
Shh. Okay.
So then he, people laughed, and he jumped up and said, you're going to go to jail for assault if I have anything to say about it, and started running and carrying on. And I was leaving, and he was following me, and I figured he's just going to get my license plate, and he can call the police and tell them what a mean lady I am. And instead, I had this book bag. It was heavy enough that it carried books in it. It wasn't like a shopping bag or anything, but it was made out of like a plastic material. And he grabbed it and ripped it in half. I don't have it. I gave it to the police. I wasn't sure if I could take him physically, so I decided to just wait for the police to get there.
And they came and they issued citations to both of you?
At his insistence.
Okay. Mr. Haas, let's take it step by step. Did you arrive 5 minutes after the movie started?
The credits were still rolling.
I don't care what 5 minutes after the movie started, you arrived.
About?
Why?
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 Well, it was actually the right time to arrive.
Why?
Well, we didn't have to watch the previews.
Yeah, but people got to a movie theater and they settled in, and the movie theater went dark, and then you decide, quite selfishly, to arrive. If you said to me, you didn't mean to arrive late, we just arrived late because we hit traffic or the car wouldn't start or whatever, what you're telling me is you don't have to go in to see the credits and to hear the opening salvo. You just get there when the first word is uttered. So it was the right time. You planned it that way.
Yes.
Well, that's rude. Very rude. And when you sat down, were you speaking to your friend?
A few words.
Why? You've already been rude, arriving late. Other people are there. 30 people arrived on time, settled themselves down. Not only do you arrive late so that your big bodies are blocking the screen so that people can't see it as you're going to sit down in your seats, but you sit down and then you start to talk.
There were only half a dozen people in the theater, and our big
What difference
bodies,
does it make? There were more than you.
and our bodies didn't block any screen viewing.
How do you know that?
Because there was only half a dozen people in the theater.
Mr. Haas, so you telling me that your chatter didn't bother anybody else because there were only 6 people in the theater?
A word or two passed between friends isn't chatter.
I don't believe that that's what happened, Mr. Haas. I don't believe that. And I'm not even going to ask him because you didn't say, glad we got here, fine, I'm going to be quiet. You were talking to him. She asked you to be quiet. And according to you, you said, not talking loud enough to bother you. And you did call her a name. You acknowledge that. Is that right? Well, you're rude and disrespectful. I'm not saying that she had any right whatsoever to do what she did. But I want to tell you something. Most of the people who are sitting here in the courthouse today, as well as Bird, certainly myself, have been in positions where we've gone to the theater, we're respecting the rights of others, and some people who are totally self-absorbed, selfish people can ruin their good time by sitting and chatting because they just don't give a damn about anybody else. And that was you and your friend. Right?
I guess so.
You're damn right.
Judge Judy continues, claims his eyes were burned when Linda Terhune dumped soda on his head in a movie theater. Linda says Michael wouldn't stop talking during the film.
Mr. Haas, I am totally unsympathetic with you. I just want you to know that. You were rude, and she had had it up to here. So, now prove to me, other than your wounded ego and your damp shirt, what injuries you sustained.
Shortly after leaving the theater, I had to take my contact lenses out that they were bothering me. I tried to call my eye doctor because my eyes were burning. It was over the Veterans Day holiday, so I wasn't able to see my eye doctor, until the following Tuesday. And then when I did go to the eye doctor, I was diagnosed with a chemical burn in my eyes.
Show me. Are these two different office visits?
Yes.
I'm just looking for the date on here.
11/12 was the first date.
So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 6 days later, you went to the doctor for the first time. Is that right?
It was Veterans Day weekend, and all the doctors were unavailable.
No, that's not true. Doctors are available. They're available in an emergency room if you have a chemical burn in your eye. So what were your out-of-pocket expenses, sir?
About $1,295.
Show me. I see one bill for $40 and one bill for, well, this I don't understand, sir. February 19th, 2003, you went to the doctor for $305.
That was as a result of not being able to wear my contact lenses anymore. I had to get eyeglasses.
That doesn't say that here at all. It doesn't say that here at all. Yeah. I don't buy it, sir. So you can take this back. Now, let's get up to $1,200 and some odd dollars. Where is that from?
In addition to needing to go to the eye doctor, evidently when the contents of her cup were dumped on my head and I jumped up from my chair, I sprung my back and went to the chiropractor.
You see the groans? Let me see the chiropractor. While you're looking for that, Mr. Haas, did you sprain your back before or after you've chased her out into the parking lot and grabbed her backpack?
Well, there was no chase to the parking lot. This was a mall theater. She tried to escape when I was trying to call the police.
Please, was the injury before or after you grabbed her backpack?
It was before.
Okay. Now let me see the report from the chiropractor. Sir, these are just bills. You have a report from the chiropractor?
They're paid bills.
I'm asking you if you have a report from the chiropractor.
No.
No. Then you know that this is nonsense. So far, the only bill I have is $40 for your eye exam on or about the 12th of November. What else?
In addition to the chiropractor...
Chiropractor I'm not considering, sir. I don't know whether you sprained your... Listen to me. I don't know whether you sprained your back hopping into your car. I don't know whether you sprained your back or neck at all. I have no idea. When you come to court, you have to have a doctor's report. A doctor's report will tell you exactly what you were treated for, what you complained of, what your symptoms were. Paid bills is not it. What else?
There was more to the eyes than just a $40 bill. How much is your eyesight worth to you?
How much is my eyesight worth? I don't know. How is your eyesight between the time that she poured the soda on your head and today? What has been the progression of your eye disease?
Well, I used to wear contact lenses all of the time, and after the incident where the contents of the cup were dumped on my eyes, I have never been able to wear contacts again. That's why I had to buy eyeglasses.
As I said, I'm not excusing the defendant's behavior. I think that she acted inappropriately in a juvenile manner, and I am unsympathetic. I'm also unsympathetic, sir, with your request for $3,000 in medical expenses and pain and suffering because somebody just got really annoyed enough at you and your rudeness to act out her worst fantasy, which was to get up and pour her drink over your head and say, you annoyed me and the rest of the people in this theater, and now I'm going to annoy you and make your life a little bit miserable. Because all I wanted to do this morning was come and see a very good movie, and you destroyed that moment for me, you and your chatty friend, and I'm going to get even with you. And everybody here has had a moment like that. You had no right to do that. She also had no right to throw soda on him. By the way, did you ever at any time apologize to her for using profanity and calling her a name?
No, I would expect that she would apologize to me and be responsible for taking some anger management course.
Mm-hmm. What's the name of... Gee, there used to be a woman who dealt in etiquette. I'm trying to think. Miss Manners. She owes you an apology. She does. You owe her an apology. Now, he had out-of-pocket expense of $40. I'm giving him 10 times those damages, $400. Now, there's a passive-aggressive piece of you, sir. I'm not exactly sure what the diagnosis would be, but it's certainly passive-aggressive. Because if you can go into a public theater and somebody says to you, could you please be quiet, and instead of just saying, well, I didn't realize I was disturbing somebody, turn around and curse them, and then continue to annoy them, there is some passive aggressiveness about you. And while she needs some anger management classes, you probably need a couple of good hours on a shrink's couch. That's it. $400 for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I think it speaks volumes to the lack of gentility that we now have in our country, where someone can assault you in a public place and skate as easily as Mr. Hune did.
The only thing that surprises me is that more people don't pour sodas on Mr. Haas's head.
And now, caregiver Dorothy Rochelle is suing her deceased client's granddaughter, litigation secretary Joyce Martin, for slander and pain and suffering. Joyce says Dorothy took out a life insurance policy on her grandmother.
All rise. Now, this is case number 271 on the calendar in the matter of Rochelle versus Martin.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Ms. Rochelle, you were the caregiver for the defendant's grandmother.
Yes, ma'am.
Who passed away on the 31st?
24th of January.
24th of January. It is your claim that the defendant slandered you by claiming that you took some money that you shouldn't have, that was her grandmother's money.
Yes.
I think that was in Social Security checks, that because she said that you had taken those checks and you weren't authorized to at that time, the money was taken out of your account, causing other checks that you wrote to bounce. So what you're suing her for is $5,000 for the aggravation that you had and the bounce check fees, etc., and also for slandering you.
Yes.
Ms. Martin is going to explain to me what happened. She says that this whole thing is really about an insurance policy that you had on the life of her grandmother, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So let me try to place this in perspective. Ms. Rochelle, when did you start to act as the caregiver for Miss Martin's grandmother?
In May of 1999.
What was wrong with her grandmother?
She couldn't walk very well due to rheumatoid arthritis, and she's a diabetic also, so she didn't get around very well.
Was your grandfather alive at the time?
In 99, yes, he was.
So were you caring for both of them?
I cared for him also, yes.
Were you living in or just...
Yes, I was to live in.
Who hired you?
I wasn't really hired. I come here, they were my godparents. I moved here from Kansas City because I was here in December prior to May of 1999.
Oh, so you knew that they were your godparents?
Yes, I knew them,
I
yes.
didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
So when I got there in December and saw what condition they were living in, I mean, adults, people shouldn't have to live like that. So when I went back home, I couldn't rest, so I came back out to try to get their home and get them in living condition, and I was going to go back home. I figured everybody else would take care of them. It didn't happen, so I was here till they both died.
So your grandfather died first?
Yes, he had Alzheimer's and other conditions.
So he had Alzheimer's?
Yes.
But not her grandmother?
No.
She just had physical problems?
Physical problems. She was very strong mentally.
Okay. And it was agreed that the Social Security checks were to be direct deposited into your account?
Well, it was agreed that that's how she would pay me, yes.
So she was paying you?
Yes, the last year, the first 2 years I worked for, took care of her, Mrs. Spivey, with no pay.
How much was she paying you?
June of 2002, she started paying me $1,100 per month. But prior to that, she wasn't paying me anything.
Oh, just a second. Now, was that $1,100 her Social Security check?
Yes.
Now, when did you leave the employ of, what was your grandmother's name?
Mrs. Alberta Spivey.
When did you leave Miss Spivey's employ?
I came home one Friday evening, and she explained to me that Monday, which would be the 28th, that she would be going to the hospital and from there to a nursing home.
Okay. Now, that you claim that she told somebody at the bank that you had stolen money or taken money. What money?
I have an affidavit with a check that Miss Martin accused me of stealing, which was a check that I received every month for Mrs. Spivey. For Mrs. Spivey.
What month?
November 1st.
Well, you weren't in her employ in November.
But she still expected me to take care of her. I was her sole provider.
No. She left on October 28th. November 1st. You got the check. It should have been returned. Is that the check we're talking about?
The arrangement we made was that when Mrs. Spivey came to me in April of 2002, she didn't pay me for April. So when she left, by her not giving me a 30-day notice, I was supposed to keep November's payment also. That's the arrangement we made.
That's hearsay, madam. if she left your home on October 28th,
Okay.
and if Miss Martin complained that you had taken November's check and appropriated it for yourself, and it was a Social Security check, then she didn't slander you. Is that the check you're complaining about?
Well, Mrs. Martin had no arrangement with Mrs. Spivey's and I arrangement, you know. I mean, there's no written document saying I get this every month, I do that, you know. I cast a check, she'll give me what she
Well,
wanted.
if there's no written document, then you can't take her Social Security. Her Social Security goes to her. So if that's what you're complaining about, Miss Rochelle, your complaint is falling on deaf ears. She says that this is all about an insurance policy, and I'm sort of curious about that insurance policy. When did Miss Spivey take out an insurance policy naming you as beneficiary?
She had the insurance policy in 2001, but when she came to live with me, she complained the whole time. We talked previously on the phone.
Just
all the
answer
time.
my questions. You can't tell me what she said to you. She's not here.
August, I believe, of 2002.
August of 2002, she changed the insurance policy, making you the beneficiary.
Yes.
Who had previously been the beneficiary?
Her daughter in Topeka, Kansas.
And where did she go when she changed the insurance policy? Did she go to somebody's office, or did somebody come to her?
The insurance agent, which is present here in the court, he came to our home and took out the policy.
Who was the insurance agent?
Mr. Harvey.
Step up, please. Your last name is Harvey?
Yes.
May I interject for a moment, sir?
Yes.
The insurance policy prior to August 20th had lapsed. So a new application was issued August 20th, 2002, and this is the application to which plaintiff is referring.
So in August, when you came to the house, sir, she did not have insurance.
Correct.
Had you been Miss Spivey's insurance agent previously on the old policy?
No.
And when you came to the house, you wrote up another insurance policy and named a different beneficiary. Is that correct?
Well,
Is that correct, that you wrote up another policy with a new beneficiary?
Correct.
So just answer my question.
Well, I didn't know who the first beneficiary was.
Who determined, Ms. Martin, that the signature on this new policy was not your grandmother's signature?
The policy issued in August 20th, 2002 is her signature. The policy was amended in November. That is the signature my mother and I have disputed with Guarantee Life Insurance. That is not her signature.
What do you mean the policy was amended in November?
Okay.
Was the policy amended in November?
It was increased.
From what to what?
10 to 15,000.
November what?
About mid-month.
I have the exact
Who called
date, Your
you
Honor.
to increase the policy?
Miss Rochelle.
Miss Rochelle, who is no longer taking care of Miss Spivey. Is that right?
I was taking care of Miss Spivey. I was
No,
running
she-
back and forth to the nursing home taking care of her. Yes, I was.
On November 8th, she was not in the nursing home. She was at Brotman Medical Center.
Well, I was out there also. Records can show that, too.
But also, Your Honor, this policy is a joint whole life policy with my uncle and my grandmother. My uncle was incarcerated through at least January 19th, 2003. His signature also appears on both applications. I don't see how that's possible.
I don't know either, but are you still in litigation with regard to that second policy?
We were told by Guarantee that the policy would not be paid.
And it
we
has
have-
not been paid, is that right?
Yes.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Claims her deceased client's granddaughter, Joyce Martin, falsely accused her of stealing. Joyce says Dorothy took out a life insurance policy on her grandmother.
All right, not so hard. Miss Rochelle, you had no right to keep in your account Miss Spivey's Social Security check for the month of November of 2002. You were no longer taking care of her. The $1,100 was to provide for her care. She was either in a hospital or she was in a nursing home during the month of November. Both of those facilities were entitled to a piece of her Social Security check, not you. Miss Martin.
Yes, ma'am.
She has a very simplistic lawsuit here. Her lawsuit says that you accused her of stealing money, of using money that she wasn't entitled to.
Correct.
And I've just told her that she wasn't entitled to that money that she had in her bank account. Okay. And that if, because of your complaint, that money was withdrawn from her bank account and she suffered damages because other checks bounced, that's too bad.
That's correct.
Too bad. She had no right to keep that money. It was a Social Security check. I've answered you. You had no right to keep the money. You may disagree with me. That's your problem. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye. Good luck.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I took care of this woman, grandmother and grandfather, for 4 years. She was too good to take care of them.
The package I brought with me today are the remains of my grandmother.
That she got the audacity to take me to court when she never came around.
And had her here for moral support today.
She had her girlfriends and everything she's sleeping laying up with, but she couldn't take care of her grandmother. I did it, put my life on hold, and I'm the bad guy now.
And now the next grade is suing business owner Tim Oviatt and his former employee Donald Fisher for assaulting her in their store. Donald is countersuing, claiming Lisa assaulted him.
Yes, this is case number 409 on the calendar in the matter of McCrae versus Oviatt Fisher. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Who is Mr. Oviatt?
I am, Your Honor.
Ms. McCrae, according to what I read, you entered Mr. Oviatt's store. What kind of store is it?
It's a clothing store.
And when did you enter his store?
October 6th of '02.
And you got into the store and you were on your cell phone. A gentleman came over to you who is no longer here. I understand that that person who came over to you and told you that you weren't allowed to use the cell phone in the store has died.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And that person's name was?
Roland Espinoza.
And he had been ill in October of 2002.
Yes.
Came over and told you that you couldn't use cell phone, and then there was some sort of an altercation. It is your claim that Mr. Fisher, as well as Mr. Espinoza, an employee of Mr. Oviatt, assaulted you, and you want to be compensated. Mr. Oviatt, I gather, was not present.
That's correct, Your Honor.
But Mr. Fisher was present, and Mr. Fisher says that you actually were the one who precipitated the assault. As a matter of fact, you assaulted him, and you assaulted Mr. Espinoza, and Mr. Fisher is counterclaiming.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Fine. So why don't you tell me, Ms. McCrae, your version of what happened?
I had just got off from work. I was looking for a tank top. I was on the phone. I walked past the store, and I seen a tank top on the back wall. I veered into the store. I went straight back to the tank tops, and I was looking through the tank tops while I was talking on the telephone. Man walks up past me, and he says, "You need to take that conversation outside." And I looked at him, and he walked away. And I was talking to Yolanda, and she said, "What did he say?" I said, "Girl, please, I ain't paying him no mind. I'm still looking through the thing, talking to him." He comes back up to me again, and he says, "You heard me. You need to take that conversation outside. There's no cell phones allowed in my store." He said, "I can have you removed." I said, "Do that." So his employee, Mr. Fisher, picked up the phone and called the police at that time. So I stood there, and he said, "I can have you." He said, "I can put you out." I said, "No, you guys." Said, "I'll be right here when the police get here." He said, "No, you won't. This is my mother, and I'll put you out if I want to." And at that point, he grabbed me by my collar and the seat of my pants and proceeded to push me out of the store. I said, "I'll call you back." I hung up the phone. I put it in my pocket. I spun around and I shoved him off me. I said, "Don't touch me." I said, "You don't have the right to touch me." I said, "You done already called the police. Let the police remove me." He said, "I can put you out if I want to. This is my mother's store." He said, "I'll take that cell phone and throw it out in the damn street." I said, "I will kick you." And he kept on. And he walked away. Phone rang again. It was Yolanda.
Now, the person that you're talking about is this Mr. Espinoza?
Yes.
Who put you out? So,
no, he never put me outside. He tried.
You told me that he grabbed you and he put
you outside. He grabbed me several times to throw me out.
Okay.
He kept grabbing me. He came back 3 or 4 times. Every time I answered the phone, she kept calling me trying to find out what was going on, if I was okay. And every time I answered the phone, he would come from wherever he was, "Get the out of my store on that damn cell phone." And I mean, he was literally in my face. So at that point, the phone rang again. He came back this time with a bat. And I said, "No, you're not going to hit me with that bat." I turned sideways at an angle to get my balance. And I turned the phone sideways to my face. I said, "If you hit me with that bat, I will up." And she said, "He got a bat?" I said, "Yes." I said, "If you hit me with that bat," and he tapped me on my arm. I said, "I'm not playing with you. Don't hit me with that bat." So I hung up the phone. I put it in my pocket. I said, "Do not hit me with that bat." And he did it again. The last time he hit me across my shoulder hard. I grabbed the bat. I flung him the store is real little. It's a small store. I flung him all over that store. I had him on, he was holding on to that bat for dear life. I had him on the floor with his back pinned up against one of the clothing shelves. I could have stomped the dog mess out of that man. I could have put my foot in his chest to snatch that bat. I just wanted the bat. I snatched him up because he wasn't letting go, and I hemmed him up on the wall, and I punched him in his mouth. I said, that boy, I pulled him down some more. We tussled some more. I got him up in the dressing room. And when I turned around, something just told me to look, and I turned around, and Mr. Fisher sprayed me in my face with mace. Caught me on an exhale. I wiped my face on Espinosa's sleeve, and I turned around again to see who it was before I swung, make sure it wasn't the police. And I looked again, and he sprayed me again. I let go of Espinosa, and I turned around, and I punched Donald Fisher. And I was getting ready to hit him again, but I took an inhale, and I couldn't breathe. I said, okay, I'm going outside on that note.
Mr. Fisher, how long have you worked in the store?
I worked there for the total of 1 year. I don't work there anymore. At that point, I had been there probably about 8 or 9 months.
Okay. Would you describe Mr. Espinosa, please?
Well, Roland was a very small man. He was only about 120 pounds because he'd been ill for quite a long time. And he was actually a very soft-spoken man as well. So hearing this story is greatly embellished.
Just tell me put your hand down. First of all, is there a policy in the store with regard to cell phones?
There is a no cell phone policy in the store, and it's posted on the front door.
And what does it say?
It's a symbol,
May I see it?
No food, no cell phone, no drinks.
I'll get to you, madam. Just put your hand down.
And that's Mr. Espinosa.
Okay. Go ahead.
So Miss McCrae was in the store. I was at the front counter. I was finishing up a sale with one single customer. She was in the back of the store looking at the counter back there. She started talking on her cell phone, and she was talking loudly. I didn't say anything. I didn't want a confrontation. Roland came out of the back of the store, and he said, "Ma'am, there's a no cell phone policy in this store, and it's posted on the front window. I have to ask you to take your phone, your call outside." She came right back saying, "I'll talk anywhere I please." That's what she said in a very loud tone. Well, Roland just basically yelled back to her, said, "Okay, get out of the store." And when he said get out of the store, that's when she punched him in the gut. None of this other conversation that she's described took place. And I just kind of...
Did you hear what I said?
Your Honor, that's not true.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
said we will get to you.
Okay.
I just kind of sighed because I thought, oh, God, here we go. It was the Castro Street Fair day, and it actually been fairly quiet because all the activity was outside. And I just picked up the phone instantly, dialed 911. The operator came on pretty quickly, and I started... She, of course, was asking me all the questions, as far as a description of the assailant, what was going on, all the relevant questions. At one point, she throws Roland into the back wall, as she did describe, so hard that it knocked down 2 permanent racks, permanently installed racks, off the wall. I'm still answering questions from the 911 operator. Next time I look up, she's thrown him into one of the 2 small dressing rooms that have saloon-style doors on them, and she's pounding him in the face. Finally, with whatever last question it was, the 911 operator asked me, I said, "Ma'am, I've really got to go help my friend." I set the phone down. I knew as I went over there, she was going to hit me. If she was that aggressive and hostile right off the cuff with him, I knew that she was going to go after me. I had pepper spray in my pocket because I walk and ride transit around the city. I had it in my right hand ready. I went over, reached over the saloon door at her left shoulder, and I said, "Stop it, let him up." And as soon as I did that, she reared up and slugged me, clipped me right on the chin. As soon as she clipped me, I sprayed her. And she took another swing at me, but she kind of swung blindly at me because I don't think she could see me. And she started to stumble toward the front door. I went over to help Roland. He was all the way down on the floor. She had pounded him to within a foot of the floor, and he was all bloodied, his lip cut. I looked up, and right as she was going out the front door, there were 4 or 5 police officers there.
Was she arrested?
Yes, she was arrested for assault.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you?
Retail salesperson Donald Fisher sprayed her with pepper spray.
Can I see the police report, please? Now I'll hear you. Stand up. Tell me your name.
Yolanda Trophy.
Okay.
Your Honor, I was on the phone with Miss McRae when the gentleman approached her. He did not say it in a nice manner. You need to leave the store. There's no cell phone policy. He came out with, you need to get off that phone and take that conversation outside.
Okay. So he said, you need to get off that phone and take the conversation outside. That's what you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What's next?
Then the phone clicked off. I called back to make sure she was okay and what was going on. And he was screaming and yelling, sounds like at the top of his lungs at her, that he was going to put her out the store. She didn't have the right to stand in the store. And then the phone clicked off again. I called her back 3 or 4 more times, and I couldn't get through. Then I called her back again, and the first thing I heard is, you better not hit me with that bat again. And then the phone clicked off again. The next time I talked to her, she was in the back of the police car on the way to the police department.
Okay.
Judge Judy, I have proof that he just lied to you.
I'll hear you.
He told you that I hit him several times. I beat him down, what have you.
Beat who down?
That I beat Espinoza down.
That's correct.
Okay, I hit Espinoza one time.
You told
Here's the just one time. I did not beat him down.
Listen,
this is the picture.
You told me that you grabbed him several times, pinned him up against a wall.
No, I did not. I told you that he grabbed me several times, and I grabbed the bat. We tussled with the bat.
No,
and
madam,
I hemmed
that's
him
not
up
what you
against the
said,
wall.
my dear.
I said I hemmed him up against the wall with the bat, and I punched him in his mouth. I told you we tussled some more, and then I hemmed him up in the dressing room.
That's right. You told me that you pinned him up twice.
Okay,
I heard you.
twice, but I only hit him once.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You trespassed in their store.
I was a customer.
Sure. Sit. Sit. You trespassed in their store. And you trespassed in their store as soon as you were told that you were violating one of the rules to be in their store, and you were told to leave. If I go into a store and I have my dog Lulu with me, and the store says to me, you're not allowed in here with the dog, get the dog outside. If I choose to stay in that store, I am trespassing, because the invitation that I have to enter the store, which is what you have as a customer, has been voided when you break one of the rules. And then when you are told to leave in an orderly fashion and you choose not to leave, you are trespassing.
It was not an orderly fashion.
I don't. That's according to you.
He didn't even have to be polite about it. All he really had to say was, "There's no cell phones allowed in here." He could have just said that and left it at that. I'd either got off the phone or I'd have went outside.
And then you would have gone outside.
Either or. Okay. But he didn't. I don't know who that man is.
So you didn't like his tone of voice. Is that what you're telling me?
He was very loud and very rude.
Your Honor.
I didn't know who that man was. He did not tell me that this is my store. I'm the store owner.
Put her out, because unless she can keep herself quiet during the course of the proceedings, you can't stay. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good.
He did not tell me who he was, ma'am.
In the store.
Ma'am, I didn't even know if that man worked there. He has one of them get up and go hairdos, and I work in transit in San Francisco. I hear people cuss people out and tell them to get off the phone on them buses and streetcars all day long.
Ms. McRae, you can raise your voice from today till tomorrow, and you can cry and moan, and I'm telling you that this was a small store you went into, and when this man came over to you and said to you, you're going to have to take that conversation outside, and he said it to you twice, are you asking me to believe that you didn't know that he was an employee of the store? Just answer my question. Are you asking me to believe that you did not know that he was an employee of the store?
Yes, I am, because of the tone of voice that he said it. I hear it all day.
Listen to me. I don't buy it.
I hear it all day.
Now,
people telling
Mr.
people to
Oviatt,
get off the phone.
Now you're going to be quiet, because I'm telling you to be quiet. Now, you are also a defendant, and you are being sued really as the store owner.
That's
you
correct.
said you had something to tell me. I'll hear you.
Okay, well, first of all, Mr. Espinoza would never use the MF word.
Just a second. I don't know that.
Well, I was his domestic partner for 18 years.
Okay.
I know how he behaved, and I know when she raised her voice that he would rise to the bait at that particular moment.
So he might have. Let me tell you what you said to the police, madam. You said to the police, I was on a cell phone looking at merchandise in the All-American Boy store. Is that your store?
That's correct.
And a man comes up to me and says something along the lines, take your conversation outside. We don't allow cell phones in our store, unquote. You mean, just a second, is what you're telling me the police got it wrong?
I'm telling you that they shortened it and they added what they wanted to add.
No, listen to me. It's in quotes. A lot of it is not in quotes. This is in quotes. I kept on looking and talking, and a second time he, quote, asked me to go outside with the phone and told me that there was a sign on the window stating no cell phones in the store. I kept talking and said to him, I'm not bothering nobody, etc. And he proceeded to hand deliver me to the door. I told him to get his hands off me. He pushed me several times. I then started pushing him back, and all this pushing took place after other employee called the police. He then came at me with a bat, hit me 3 times on my arm lightly. I told him that if he hit me with that bat again, I was going to beat the F out of him. And he hit me one more time on the left shoulder, this time much harder. Something hit him by mistake with my fist.
That is not my statement.
I tried to take the bat, and when I had him backed up in corner and almost had the bat, the other employee sprayed me with mace. Then I turned around and busted him in the face. That's your statement to the police.
That ain't my handwriting. I ain't wrote that.
Miss McRae, you acted badly. You don't get paid for acting badly. You lost
I was not.
Just a second. I'm speaking.
That, I would have got arrested. I didn't get arrested.
Listen to me. You acted badly. You were a trespasser in his store. You were told to leave. You were violating the rules. You had no right to be there with your cell phone. Period. Now, as far as you getting clipped in the face, were you injured?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor. Sorry.
Okay. So that, but for the fact that the plaintiff filed this lawsuit against you, I would assume that you would not have counterclaimed. Is that right?
That's right, Your Honor.
Okay. So let's just leave it at that.
But
she has absolutely no case.
Put a case on me.
I've just explained it to you. You have no case. You behaved badly. Accept it and try to behave better the next time. Your lawsuit's dismissed. Your counterclaims withdrawn. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You can tell by the plaintiff's demeanor what kind of language she uses and the tone of her voice. And I know for a fact that Mr. Espinoza did not use that tone of voice until he was provoked.
They let me go because the only reason why the man had excuse was that I was in his store on a cell phone. That was it for acting the way that he acted. That's what the officer told me.
She's contradicting exactly what she wrote that very day, and she did hit Roland many times. That, too, is stated in the report as well.
I was waiting on the police to come so I could make a citizen's arrest for him putting his hands on.
11 ओवर में 60 रन है बैटिंग आज फिर बैन रनिंग है सर रनिंग है मान साहब तो पूरी रनिंग करा पूरा और साहब देखी साहब है ना सिंगल पे रह फिर खास ट्राई एक्स्ट्रा ट्राई ना करता ये आ गया रन डबल हो गया सर ना दो बन जाइए गलिया ये हो गए दो बहुत बढ़िया सर रनिंग है साहब दो संदीप भाई रे बढ़िया रनिंग है सर बढ़िया रनिंग है दो को बोलिए ये मेरा गेस है एक चीज और बताता हूं योड़ खड़े है ना योड़ बैटिंग कराता नु लागड़ खाली पड़ी सारी जगह योड़ बैठ के फिर उठ का हो मन्नी चला गए 130 बने गए घड़े हो गए 40 का स्कोर इनके और खत्म हो जाएंगे मैं भाज रहे अभी फालतू में फील्डर भाई खड़े यार ये संदीप है देख के तैयारी का खड़े है ना भाई तो रनिंग करे बाद में सत्तर बॉल 65 रन बैटिंग में तो भाई मजा बॉलिंग तो ज्यादा मजा आ रहा है बैटिंग में ये बैटिंग में ना पूरा टाइम रहा है बॉलिंग में बैठे मेरा 6 बॉल में करना जो करना है ग्यारह में 12 में 12 में गिंडी दे दो गिंडी दे दो एक वो क्या चेंज करा करें नहीं हो मारे ये तो थी बाल बहन चार गोडा आगे कट के मारने की सिंगल लेना है देखिए बोल लंबी है जो सिंगल लेना है नो आड़े की सिंगल के नहीं गोडा काट के बड़े शॉट मार दे उल्टो से बाल उल्टो से आ गया छोरे बड़ा जल्दी आया भाई को और के कर रहा हूं बोले तू आराम ताण हो मिल गया हां मंत्र तो बता दी आराम ता है आ गया छोरा आ गया ये छोरा फील्डिंग करेगा पूरी वाइड थी पे ठीक से और उड़ गया था झटका बोलती है फर्स्ट है पर वो फेंक ना ऊपर उसकी सही बढ़िया थोड़ा आगे हट गया सही लगा तो बैट थोड़ा जोर लगाना पड़ेगा जोर कम लगाया और थी बॉल बेंच कितना जान की बॉल थी ये तो पार्टी के लड़ी